Top 11 Most Popular Places to Visit in New York. Are you looking for the greatest New York tourist attractions? If so, have a look at this list of New York's top 10 most popular tourist attractions. New York is a major tourist destination and one of the top cities in the United States to reside in. There are numerous best spots in New York that attract millions of people each year. But, if you're still undecided on where to go in New York, you've come to the correct place. Today, we'll recommend the top 10 most popular tourist attractions in New York. So, if you're planning a trip to New York City, don't forget to include these prominent New York attractions on your itinerary. Before we dive in, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, so you never miss an interesting upload from us. Number 11. Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is one of the city's most famous monuments, with its Gothic-shaped arches and suspension cables inspiring generations of poets, musicians, and painters. This historic bridge, which connects Manhattan and Brooklyn across the East River, was the world's first steel suspension bridge when it opened in 1883. Many ferries on the east side of Manhattan offer views of it, but the best way to see it is to take an hour and stroll across the Brooklyn Bridge. Only walkers and bicycles have access to a wood plank boardwalk that runs above the traffic lanes. If you don't feel like going the entire distance, at least get to the first pillar, where there is an observation platform where you may get a close look at one of the granite towers. Cycling over the bridge is another option, however pedestrian traffic can be strong on peak days, making cycling slow and difficult. Keep in mind that the bridge's entrance is set back from the water's edge. Number 10. Bryant Park. Bryant Park in New York City is always a good choice if you're visiting with your family. It's a magnificent 9.6-acre public park in Midtown Manhattan, located between 5th Avenue and Avenue of the Americas, and between 40th and 42nd Streets. A peaceful location providing the ideal setting for a family picnic. Visitors can take advantage of phone charging stations, public restrooms, food shops, a cafe, tennis courts, an outdoor gym, and other amenities. This park is next to the New York Public Library. As a result, it's an excellent family-friendly New York attraction. Number 9. Grand Central Terminal. Grand Central Terminal, often known as Grand Central Station, is a magnificent Beaux-Arts structure that is well worth visiting. The building initially built in 1913 as a subway and train station terminal. The colonnaded facades on 42nd Street and the statues on top are some of the most notable features on the outside. Inside, the Grand Staircase is a must-see, where you may take a break and look out over the concourse. Inside, you'll find a wide range of retail stores and restaurants. Number 8. American Museum of Natural History. The American Museum of Natural History, one of New York City's greatest museums for a family visit, has something for everyone. 8 permanent display halls highlight everything fascinating about our planet's natural environment, from science and the environment to animals and fossils. Special exhibits are often held in the museum for a limited time. One of the current exhibits worth visiting is one on sharks, which features models of these incredible creatures that you can touch. A stroll around the Butterfly Conservatory is a highlight of any visit. You'll be sharing the area with 500 flying butterflies inside this warm and humid climate-controlled building. Number 7. Central Park. If you're organizing a New York family tour, don't forget to include this in your itinerary. Each year, about 25 million people visit the park, making it the most popular in the United States. In a metropolis of high-rise apartments with a dense population, it's Manhattan's back garden. This 843-acre paradise is a great place to go for a walk, read a book, see a music, and so much more. With over 4 million trees, shrubs, and plants representing 1,500 species, Central Park has something for everyone. In addition to the large Great Lawn and other green spaces, the park has several artificial lakes, 2 ice rinks, miles of hiking and biking trails, a zoo, and several children's play areas. Number 6. The Museum of Modern Art. The Museum of Modern Art is a stunning location in New York City that will broaden your horizons. Between 5th and 6th Avenues on New York City's 53rd Street. It is still one of the most significant and largest museums of modern art in the world. It has excellent collections of contemporary and historical artworks, such as architecture, design, drawing, painting, sculpture, photography, prints, illustrations, and so on. This is why it attracts a large number of tourists from all walks of life. It is a delight for both young and old guests, and the current arts ensure that there is always something new to see. So, if you're an art lover, don't miss out on this great New York tourist site. Number 5. High Line. The High Line, a former rail line that has been turned into an urban walking trail above the city streets, is an interesting and recently expanded attraction in New York City. This one-of-a-kind linear public park is home to a diverse collection of plants and trees, many of which are native to the area. Many of these blossom in the spring. In most places, the park is ringed with glass railings, giving it a natural sense while still providing spectacular views of the city. Despite the fact that the High Line is only 2 to 3 levels above street level, the views of the city's architecture and the lookouts over the streets provide a whole different viewpoint. There are art installations, benches, and a sitting area with bleacher-style seating and a glass wall looking out onto the city near the south end of the path. The route is extensively used, and weekends can be fairly busy. Even yet, without the surrounding traffic, it's still a wonderful escape. Number 4. Rockefeller Center and top of the Rock Observation Deck. Rockefeller Center is on practically every tourist's itinerary when it comes to New York attractions. The 70-story 30 Rockefeller Plaza, an Art Deco skyscraper with amazing views of Manhattan from the famed top of the Rock Observation Deck, is the centerpiece of this large entertainment and shopping complex in the heart of Manhattan, which is home to NBC TV and other media. The deck, as it's known, is made up of 3 floors, the 67th, 69th, and 70th. Day or night, the indoor and outdoor viewing areas provide breathtaking views. A top of the Rock Observation Deck ticket can be purchased in advance. These tickets have a flexible voucher redemption policy, which means you can alter the day if your plans change or the weather isn't cooperating. Number 3. Times Square. Times Square, which is lined with massive, brightly illuminated billboards and displays, is the place to be in New York in the evening, but it's also fascinating at any time of day. New York's New Year's Eve celebrations take place here, including the famed ball drop at midnight, when the square and surrounding streets are packed with people. Times Square is bustling and always crowded, yet it has its own distinct appeal. The bleachers at one end are a fantastic location to relax and take in the scenery. Number 2. Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is a well-known landmark and popular tourist attraction in New York City. Until the One World Trade Center skyscraper rose taller 41 years later, the 381-meter-tall, 102-story structure was the world's tallest. When it first opened in 1931, the Empire State Building, which was topped with an airship mooring tower, became a landmark and a symbol for New York City. The city's highest open-air observation deck, the 86th floor observatory, 1,050 feet, is what most tourists anticipate to see when they visit the Empire State Building. If it looks familiar, it's because this location has been featured in a number of films and television shows. It contains both a glass-enclosed area that is heated in the winter and cooled in the summer, as well as extensive outdoor promenades on all 4 sides of the building, which are reached by high-speed automatic elevators. The views are breathtaking. The 102nd floor's top deck rises 1,250 feet above the busy streets below. The viewing area here is enclosed, despite the fact that you are 16 stories higher. Number 1. Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty, America's most iconic site, is at the top of every first-time visitor's list of things to do in New York. It was France's gift to the United States. It is an universal emblem of freedom and one of America's greatest attractions, having been built in 1886. It is just under 152 feet tall from base to torch and weighs around 450,000 pounds, making it one of the world's tallest monuments. The statue can be seen from land, with particularly nice views from Battery Park on Manhattan's southern point. To properly appreciate the Statue of Liberty, though, taking a short boat ride to Liberty Island and seeing it up close is the finest option. Take a leisurely stroll around the base, and then enter the pedestal if you have reservations. As of this writing, the crown is still closed. When taking a tour of the Statue of Liberty, you can stop at Ellis Island and see the Immigration Museum. This amazing museum is housed in the old immigration station complex, which saw thousands of immigrants screened before being allowed to enter the United States. So, which one of these places are you going to explore on your next trip? Do let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.